Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking a closer look at something that we all kind of wrestle with, daily routines. I think we've all had those moments where we're like, man, if I just had a better routine. So we've got some really fascinating examples of how people structure their day.
Yeah, we're diving into the morning, the afternoon, and even the evening. And along the way, we'll be pulling out these key terms that help us understand these habits a little better.
Exactly. Because I think sometimes we just go through the motions, right?
Yeah.
But if we actually stop and think, okay, what does it really mean to unwind?
Mm.
Or what does it mean to recharge? It gives us a little bit more intention behind the actions.
I totally agree. It's not just, checking things off a list, but understanding why we're doing them and how they fit into the bigger picture of our day.
Absolutely. So to kick things off, let's talk about mornings. We've got Jennifer, who's a student, and Daniel, who is working. And it's amazing to see how their mornings kind of have these parallels, but also these really distinct differences. Jennifer, she gets going around 7 a.m., and before she even gets out of bed, she's doing some stretching and breathing exercise.
Oh,
Yeah. Then she does, the typical morning routine,
yeah.
brushing her teeth, washing her face, grabbing a light breakfast, oatmeal or toast. And then, I love this, she takes a moment to check her emails and her to-do list.
I mean, that makes so much sense, getting organized right off the bat.
Right. And then we have Daniel, who, because of work, has to start a little earlier. He's up at 6:30. And his first move, drinking a glass of water, which, again, I feel like is such a simple thing, but it sets the tone. Hydration first thing in the morning.
Absolutely. Your body's been fasting all night, so getting those fluids in is huge.
Totally. And he follows a similar personal hygiene routine, brushing his teeth, washing his face, and then keeps breakfast light as well, usually eggs and toast or a smoothie.
So it seems like they both prioritize getting that hydration and some fuel in before they, really tackle the day.
Absolutely. And it's so interesting to see those common threads.
Right.
Waking up, taking care of yourself, that light breakfast, and then that element of planning. But then you also see those personal touches, like Jennifer easing into her day versus Daniel needing to be up and at 'em, ready to hit the ground running. Do you think that intentional start, though, makes a difference in how the rest of the day goes?
It's funny because I was thinking about that as you were talking. There's a certain mindset that comes with starting your day in a mindful way. It's almost like you're saying, okay, I'm in control. Like Jennifer with her stretching. It's gentle, but it's a way to kind of wake up her body. And Daniel prioritizing hydration, it shows he's thinking about taking care of himself. And that intentionality can really ripple throughout the day, don't you think?
Totally. And I wonder, too, about this idea of the light breakfast. Is there something to be said about avoiding, that heavy, sluggish feeling that can sometimes hit mid-morning?
I think so. It seems like they're both trying to keep their energy levels stable, right? Avoid those sugar spikes and crashes that can really throw off your focus.
Makes sense. Now, to dig a little deeper, let's actually talk about some of these keywords that pop up in their routines. So Jennifer talks about stretching. It's not about a full-on workout, but it's about extending her body, getting those muscles moving after a night of rest.
Yeah, like getting the blood flowing, increasing flexibility. And then Daniel and his hydration, he's basically replenishing his body with water after, hours of sleep.
Right. And they both emphasize a light breakfast, something easily digestible to give them energy, but without that heavy feeling.
I think that's key. Finding that balance between getting fuel, but not feeling weighed down.
Right. Absolutely. And then we see their organizational strategies. Jennifer checking her to-do list and Daniel looking at his class schedule. It's all about mentally prepping for the day ahead.
Totally. And by understanding these terms in context, we get a much clearer picture of why they're doing what they're doing, right?
Totally. It's like we're getting a peek into their mindset. So morning sets the stage, but what about the afternoon? Jennifer's afternoon is really all about studying. She's got classes, study sessions, and she makes sure to take breaks to, stretch and move around, especially if she's been sitting for a while.
Which makes a lot of sense. You got to keep that blood flowing, especially when you're trying to focus.
Right. And Daniel, his afternoon is usually his peak work time. Meetings, project deadlines. But just like Jennifer, he knows he needs those little breaks.
Yeah, he's got to recharge, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
To stay on top of his game. And I think that's something we could all relate to. It's so easy to get caught up in the flow of things and forget to step away, even for a few minutes.
Oh, for sure. I'm definitely guilty of that. Sometimes I'll get so absorbed in a task that I completely forget to take a break.
Right. But it's those breaks that can actually make you more productive in the long run.
Right.
So let's talk lunch. Jennifer sticks to a light lunch, a salad or sandwich. She's very conscious of not feeling sluggish and wanting to maintain that steady momentum.
And Daniel's on the same page. He goes for healthy options like a quinoa salad or turkey sandwich.
Both trying to avoid that dreaded afternoon energy slump.
It's like they're playing the long game, right?
Yeah,
Making food choices that will sustain their energy levels throughout the afternoon.
totally. And I bet Jennifer probably tackles her bigger assignments in the afternoon when she's still got that mental energy.
I bet you're right. And Daniel's probably focusing on those key projects that need his full attention, the ones he needs to knock out efficiently.
Makes sense. So let's unpack some of these afternoon terms. We have focused, which is that state of complete concentration. Both Jennifer and Daniel need that to really get their work done.
Yeah, like laser focus. And then recharge, that idea of replenishing your energy, whether it's through a physical break or a quick snack. It's all about preventing burnout.
And even though they don't explicitly say it, I think those breaks are also a chance to regroup. Take a moment to mentally reset before diving back in.
Oh, I totally agree. It's like hitting that mental refresh button.
Right. And then we have sluggish, that feeling of being slow and drained, which they both try to avoid with those later lunches. And Daniel, he wants to knock out those key projects, which basically means finishing them quickly and effectively. It's all about getting things done.
And then there's that energy slump that we all know too well, that dip in energy that can hit in the afternoon. But by making those smart lunch choices, they're trying to stay ahead of it.
It's like they're anticipating those energy dips and proactively addressing them. So the day's winding down, it's evening. How do Jennifer and Daniel approach this time?
Well, after classes, Jennifer likes to unwind. She might go for a walk, do some light stretching, anything to de-stress.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. You got to shake off those study vibes.
Exactly. And she keeps dinner simple.
Right.
Pasta with veggies or maybe a rice bowl. And then, of course, the usual routine. Brushing her teeth, washing her face. Before bed, she might read or have some herbal tea.
Very chill.
Yeah. And she aims to be in bed by 10 p.m.
Good sleep hygiene. And what about Daniel?
Daniel follows a pretty similar pattern. He unwinds after work, maybe listening to music or taking a walk. Dinner's around 7, something satisfying but not too heavy. Grilled salmon, veggies, stir fry, that kind of thing.
Nice.
Yeah, he also brushes his teeth, washes his face. He actually calls it hitting the reset button, which I love.
I love that too, like symbolically wiping the slate clean.
Exactly. And just like Jennifer, he steers clear of screens before bed, opting for reading or music. He tries to be in bed by 10:30 every night for consistent sleep.
It's so interesting how they both prioritize that digital detox before bed.
Right. It's like they're recognizing the impact screens can have on sleep quality.
And they're both big on having that consistent sleep schedule, going to bed and waking up around the same time each day, which is, I think, huge for overall well-being.
Absolutely. It helps regulate your natural sleep-wake cycle, leading to better sleep quality. So let's break down those evening keywords. Unwind. That conscious effort to relax and let go of stress. It's about transitioning from like go mode to rest mode.
I like that. Go mode to rest mode. And then we have Daniel's reset button, that act of washing up and signaling the end of the day.
It's such a simple but powerful ritual. And of course, wind down. That gradual slowing down as you get closer to bedtime.
It's like giving your mind and body permission to start relaxing.
Yeah.
And Jennifer's choice of herbal tea, that's a perfect example of a calming bedtime ritual.
Exactly. It all points to the importance of a deliberate evening routine in setting the stage for a good night's sleep.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the takeaway for our listeners? What have we learned from Jennifer and Daniel's routines?
Well, I think the key message is that structuring your day, having those routines, can be incredibly powerful. It's not just about productivity, although that's definitely a part of it. It's also about well-being, self-care, feeling more in control of your time and energy.
And what I love is that both Jennifer and Daniel, they don't just focus on getting things done. They build in time for relaxation, recharging, prioritizing sleep. It's about finding that balance.
Exactly. It's about creating a routine that supports both your goals and your overall well-being.
So for everyone listening, I encourage you to take a moment and reflect on your own daily patterns. Are you intentionally structuring your time to support both your productivity and your well-being? Could incorporating some of the things we've talked about today, maybe those morning stretches, a tech-free break in the afternoon, a calming evening ritual, Could those small changes make a big difference in your overall sense of balance? It's worth experimenting and seeing what works best for you.
I think that's a great place to leave it. It's all about finding what works for you and creating a routine that helps you feel your best.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. And until next time, happy routine building.